Episode 1.
Welcome to the Trading in 30 podcast, presented by TrendSurfMarkets.com. Here you'll gain useful insights to develop your trading edge. Now, here's your host, Corey Wendland.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Trading in 30 podcast. This is the the launch, and I'm extremely excited to get this thing going. My mission with the podcast is to make you a better trader and to grow with you along the way. This is my way to give back, as I've been trading for about 11 years, and along the way I've had my fair share of bumps and bruises. So the podcast isn't going to be about me though. I really want to make it about you and developing you as a trader. With that said, I've developed what I call the Journey to 100K. Now, what is the Journey to 100K? It's a training program / challenge. There's not much on the internet about growing an account from practically nothing to a good amount of money. There's a lot of get-rich-quick schemes with really good marketing, and that's just to draw you in, but they fail to deliver, and they fail to do what they say. With my journey from how I started, I have plenty of stories where I went on the internet, did a lot of research, and you find someone that you think you can follow, and then you try and trade the way that they teach, and it really doesn't work out. You have to really craft yourself, and so that's my objective with the Journey to 100K, is to show you how I trade, and then along the way you can adapt and grow yourself into the trader and be the trader that you want to be based off of your personality type and the types of markets that you would like to trade. Why $100,000? $100,000 to most people opens a lot of doors, especially to alternative investments like a futures portfolio, where you have to have enough margin in the portfolio to actually trade multiple contracts and be able to trade multiple instruments to get enough diversity. So the other thing is real estate income. That's something that I'm interested in, or it could be a mixture of both. Or you might just want a Lamborghini Huracan. That's completely up to you. Why is it a journey? It's about overcoming obstacles, experiencing the markets as they change, and maintaining a positive mind. That in and of itself is a journey. It's like a road trip where you get to see and experience new things. Although you're in the car for a really long time, you're just in the moment, and being able to be in the now, in the moment, is really what it's all about. So the Journey to 100K is just that, being in the now, enjoying the ride, and turning a $500 account into a $100,000 account over the next few years. But just like preparation that goes into a long road trip, trading requires the same. You know, for a road trip, you have toiletries you have to gather, you have to have enough clothes, you have to plan out how many days am I gone, is there gas in the car, so on and so forth. And trading is really no different. In order to get on the road with trading, we need to take an inventory, and after the break, I'll fill you in on what kind of inventory I'm talking about.
Do you know your trading edge? If you don't, you should. Or maybe you do and you're looking to improve your edge. Join the community at TrendSurfMarkets.com to improve your trading results. Plans start at $47 a month. You'll gain access to trading plan development, webinars, and coaching sessions. And most important, you'll be a part of a growing community where you can interact with not only myself, but other traders. I've been trading for 11 years, and no one understands the importance of a quality, self-improvement program more than me. I know you'll gain a ton of value and will improve your trading edge. Your decision to be a bolder, smarter, and more decisive trader will empower you into the future. As a thank you for listening to the Trading in 30 podcast, visit TrendSurfMarkets.com to receive $10 off monthly plans now until September 1st.
So before the break, I mentioned taking an inventory. And the type of inventory I'm referring to is a life inventory. What I want you to do now is to take out a piece of paper and a pen and write down this at the top. Why do I trade? And then underneath that heading, write why. Any thought that comes to mind should be written down. So whether it's to make $1 million in 5 years, to buy a Lamborghini Huracan, whatever it may be, write all of them down. This is the most critical part of building yourself into the trader that you want to be, the trader that you see when you think of yourself as a trader. So once you know the why, the how, and the what of reaching your goals, becomes an easier roadmap to follow. This exercise is designed to get you to open your mind up to see that the self-awareness and being in the present is extremely important in your role as a trader, because if you really know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you're better able to correct some of those mistakes that you'll make along the way and know when to pull the reins back on yourself if you have some sort of an addiction, some sort of problem. And it could be that you don't have any of those things, but by following these psychological processes, you're able to reach your end goal. Because if we just come in here and say, oh, I want to turn $500 into $100,000, well, how are you going to do that? We can come up with a whole, set of trading rules that you can follow, but if you won't follow them, what good are they? The whole point of this exercise is to really open your mind up so that you better understand why you're coming in to trade. Doing this is definitely going to be something that you will look back on down the road and be, oh, thank God that Corey introduced me to this, because if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be at the point that I'm at now with my trading. Let me give you an example from my trading a few years back. Before I would go to bed at 10 o'clock in the evening, I would wake up at 1:50 in the morning. So I would sleep for roughly 4 hours if I could fall asleep at 10 o'clock, right on the dot. So I would wake up at 1:50. I would trade until 3:30, so that's almost 2 hours, and then go back to bed. I would then wake up at 5:30, go to work full time, and then do the whole thing over. I would sleep for several hours, catch the European Open for trading currencies, trade that for an hour, hour and a half or so, sometimes 2 hours if there was news, and then go back to sleep, and then wake back up, and then go to work, and just rinse and repeat, do this over and over again. During this, I was extremely exhausted. I was irritable. I couldn't fall back asleep after the stimulation from the trading computer and staring at the screen so late at night. My eyes hurt, and I broke many of the rules I set in my trading plan. So I had a trading plan that worked. It had an edge. It should have worked, but it didn't. Because why? Because I was not at 100% capacity of what I should be in coming into trading. So I approached it poorly. So the thing to get out of this is I no longer do it. Why? Because I was able to look at myself and see that I was suffering from the lack of sleep, and that affected how I was coming in and trading. That seems so simple, but it absolutely had an effect on the bottom line of whether or not the strategy worked. Now I no longer day trade late at night. I get a full 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm happier. My trading is more consistent. I'm more consistent in coming in and setting up my trades every single day. And I'm more present in the now. And I also have an understanding from a 50,000 foot view of how I'm interacting with the world on a day-to-day basis. So by completing this exercise with the pen and paper and writing down why I want to trade, and then asking yourself the question, why, you'll start to understand that in those really rough patches, those times where you're like, well, oh my God, I need some sleep, I need rest, I'm tired of trading, why do I want to do this? And then you can get that piece of paper back out and you can look at it and read, this is why I'm doing it. That's my tip for today in terms of psychology. I hope that you'll do this exercise. It'll help you out so much. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's podcast. Going forward, I think you'll get a tremendous amount of value in building you up into the trader that you want to be and that you maybe haven't discovered yet. Thanks for listening to today's podcast. I hope you gained a ton of value. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite listening channel. And also, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to visit trendsurfmarkets.com to follow the journey to 100K and to gain access to valuable resources. I'll chat with you soon.